Okay, Coach Sloan, we are headed back to Los Angeles this weekend, only we're going to have scoring involved. This is a good thing. I've heard from student athletes that they are excited to get into a scoring meet. Tell me a little bit about how this came about with UCLA and Tennessee.
Well, UCLA met Tennessee last year in Westwood, and it was a good meet. And talking with Mike Maynard, who is the head men's coach at UCLA, and asked about us being involved in that, and he thought it was a good idea. So now it's going to be a double dual meet in which we'll score Tennessee and UCLA, men and women, as separate competitions. So it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
What's the difference for your student athletes with a scored competition as opposed to a regular track meet?
Well, I think it's a big difference because the sport has moved away from head-to-head scoring competitions, and there's not that much of it anymore. I think there's a movement afoot to try to get it back into what we're doing, but most of the meets are invitational meets where they're non-scored. There's no outcome to speak of from the meet. It's just people going down and trying to run a certain time or jump a certain height, get qualifying marks, improve on their best. And I think the accountability of being part of a team and doing your part for the team outcome gets lost in those situations. And putting this together, I know that in years past, every time we come to the Husky Dual Meet, we seem to perform at a higher level because we're competing for the Cougs instead of just for ourselves as individuals. And that's what I'm looking forward to this weekend, is having that type of a meet and that type of a atmosphere for our team.
Let's talk a little bit about last weekend at the USC, the Trojan Invite. There were quite a few really strong individuals there representing teams that have good reputations as solid track programs. How do you think the Cougars did down at USC Friday and Saturday?
You know, I think it's kind of a mixed bag. I think that we had some things that we can really be pleased with and some great marks. Some other areas we probably came up a little bit short. When you go to Southern California, you expect you're going to have gentle favoring breezes and sunshine, and we kind of fought the wind a little bit in some of our events, and the early part of the morning was a little bit cooler and overcast, but it turned out to be real nice in the afternoon. But, you know, I think that looking back on our marks, that there are a number of marks I thought we competed very well. The level of competition there was outstanding with the teams that came to that meet. So if you're looking for victories, I think Joe Bartlett had a couple of them, and I think that was probably the extent of it. But I think that intermediate hurdler men did a real nice job. Javelin women was very, very good for us there with Christine and Courtney, and there were a number of areas where I thought, and you look at it too from the standpoint that it's even though we were in Spokane the week before, level of competition is significantly less, and the weather wasn't very good. But it's a good start for us, and I think this weekend we should see the Cougs really rev it up.
Do you like having this higher level of competition earlier in the season? You've always talked about the championship season, which is pretty much at the end.
Yep.
And does that help your program and help your kids progress if you have this level of competition early?
Well, we're going to find out for sure. But my thinking going into it is yes, that having this type of a meet where there's an accountability and a team outcome, I think that we're using the Husky Dual Meet as part of our championship season to kickstart the end of the year. I think if by going this way and having this meet against Tennessee and UCLA earlier on, I think that just gets us to a higher plane to start from when we get to the end of the year.
Okay, after the UCLA and Tennessee double duel down in Los Angeles, you're going to stay in the Southern California area. You're going to be taking a couple of decathletes up to Santa Barbara for a multi-meet there. Talk a little bit about that and what opportunity that represents for these two young men.
Well, the multi-athletes usually get one opportunity during the year, well, not counting indoor, but from an outdoor standpoint, get one opportunity during the year, and then the conference championship. And from those two meets, if they have aspirations of being at the NCAA meet, they've got to score in the top 24 in the nation in one of those two meets. So it's an important meet for us. It's the first time they've held this meet called Sam Adams Invitational, named for Sam Adams, who was the coach at UC Santa Barbara and a long-time combined events coach, very successful. And Josh Priester, who's the coach at Santa Barbara, assistant coach, who was a former camper of ours at our track and field camp. And Harry Mara, who coaches Aston Eaton currently, decided, hey, this would be a good place. Let's put this on, name it for Sam. And I think Santa Barbara has pretty good weather, and we're doing it at a college, Westmont, I think it is, that's supposed to be set up pretty well to handle good wind conditions. And so, and there's good competition. I think it's going to be a great opportunity for us to go in there and see where we are and put up some good numbers.
And who are the two athletes that you're taking?
Michael Boligar and Sean Harris.
And this is going to be a really good opportunity for them because haven't done 10 events in a competition yet this year.
Right. Sean just had the one heptathlon indoors. Michael had two. But this will be their first opportunity outdoors. So, you know, we've been trying to get, in these first couple of meets, trying to get some of our events in, and we're going to use UCLA, even though we're 2 days later. We're going to do a final tune-up at UCLA, but try not to use too much energy. And then be ready to go on Monday and hopefully do a good job.
Well, you've got a jam-packed week, Coach, and we
I do.
wish you and the Cougars the best of luck.
Thank you.